Show that questions are nice because you have the answer. You just have to try and make sure you can get to it from the original question. So it's fx equals ln x all squared divided by 2, and this is what we need to end up with. So remember, when we're doing these questions, we have to say to ourselves, what kind of rule do we need to follow here? Now, what's your gut instinct going to when you see this question? Quotient. Okay, so then you have to say to yourself, what is the quotient rule about? It's when we have a function on the top and a function on the bottom. Do we have a function on the top and a function on the bottom? Why have you changed your mind now, Jennifer? Why is it not a function on the bottom? There's no x. Okay, we're all happy with that. All right. So what we have to say, right, okay, so our gut instinct was not right here, so we need to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, well, remember, when something is divided by 2, what's it the same as, how else could we write this? Don't go crazy, don't go try and do... Not to the power. Just times a half, yeah, so it's a half ln x all squared, okay? What you girls were all thinking about changing, if you had x squared on the bottom, that's when your power changes, yes? Don't get confused with that. Okay, it's a lot more straightforward for this one. So we've got ln x squared all divided by 2, right? So we know it's not quotient rule. Are there two functions being multiplied together? No, so we've just got a number and a function. So we're going to be using the chain rule, yes? Because it's not just straightforward ln x. So what's the rule when we differentiate things with powers? Power comes in front, so we've got 2 times a half, yes? Ln x now becomes to the power of 1. And then what do we have to do? We have to multiply by the derivative of this. And what's the derivative of ln x? Okay, remember, look in your formula booklets, it's in there, yeah? Alright, so that's our working step. I'll just pause. Alright, obviously now we need to simplify. We've got 2 times a half, so what happens there? Yeah, so that can just go, yes? And we've got ln x to the power 1. It's just ln x, and we're multiplying that by 1 over x. So what happens when we multiply things together? Pretend there's a 1 there, top times top, bottom times bottom. So what do we end up with? What did we have to show that it was equal to? Done. Yeah? So we didn't look at that until the very end. Just have a look to see, does our answer match with that? Yes, we're awesome. Okay? So nice 2 marks there.
Why did the 2 times a half?
Because 2 lots of a half is 1 whole 1. Yeah? Or if you wanted 2 times 2, 1 times 2, 2 over 2, which is 1.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Alright, now this is where you have to try and delve really deep into your brains. It's going to hurt for some of you. It says there is a minimum on the graph. Find the x coordinate of this minimum. Okay? Now, this is the deal. As I say, you did learn this way back in GCSE. Minimums or maximums happen when dy dx, or obviously f dash x, equals 0. Okay, so if a question starts talking about maximums or minimums, all you have to do is to put your expression equal to 0 and solve it. Now, the nice thing about show that questions in the previous example, in the previous part, is that if they had said to you, find where the maximum and minimum point is, and you hadn't been able to differentiate it, you would be losing all 5 marks.
So what's a good thing?
Yes, well no, so what they do is they say show that this is this. So if you're not able to show that, you don't lose, all you lose is those 2 marks, because you know what the derivative is. So all you have to do is to put that equal to 0 for this next part. Yeah, does that make
Oh,
sense?
they're so nice.
They are, bless their little hearts.
Be nice if they-
So, so what we would say here is that the ln x over x is equal to 0. Now we have to use our amazing solving capability. This may not be actually because we don't need it for this. What's our rule for solving equations? What do we have to do? If I've got something divided by something, what's the best thing?
Multiply it out.
Multiply out. We want to get rid of it, don't we, Cameron? Yeah? So we want to get rid of this divide by x, so what do? We multiply both sides by x. Yes?
Yeah.
What happens when we multiply x by 0? You fell into the trap. You fell into the trap. She said it's and it's not 1.
Anything times 0 is 0.
I really thought it was the power of 100.
Whoa. I think we need to go back and start with basic math.
Why am I laughing? Why am I laughing?
I didn't say it, I said half of it, and then I realized.
That's all. Okay, so it's like.
Okay, it is on video. Alright, so here ln x is equal to 0. This is where we have to also go back and try and remember our log rearrangements. What does ln mean?
Natural.
Log.
Natural log. So in other words, log base e. Yes? We've got our formula sheet, so it helps us to change from Udemy or what's it? So log form to power form. So how else could I write this statement without the log word?
10 to the next.
No. Look at your formula sheets.
Yes.
So look on the log one.
8x. 8 to the x.
So you need to compare and contrast. Tell me what's your A, what's your B, what's your X.
You tell me the fact. X is 0 is the
It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
relationship to the odds and exponential function. X equals log A
Hi.
B. E is your A.
Hang on. In all fairness, I'm getting this on video. If you said A to the X, I didn't realise you were reading what's on the sheet. I thought you were trying to answer the question, which is what I asked you. Now, someone just said I don't see ln here. Well, no, because what I've done here is write it like this. So what we're doing is comparing this one here to this one here. Can we all see that? So then what I want to do is to go from being this statement here, which has a log, to this one without a log. Okay, so compare and contrast. Where do my letters and numbers go?
E to the power of 0.
So x equals 1. Awesome. See, we solved it. We are awesome.